Good morning, or depending on when you're watching this, good afternoon, good evening, or good night. My name's Ross, and as always told, out of Voice of Radio. So today we need to carry on that series where we talk about Pokemon cards, the one Pokemon card, or at least one per video, that everybody wants to see come back. Last time, I chose Ditto Prism Star, and I'm kind of delighted because I had a good look through the comments and maybe there was some hidden that I didn't see, but I didn't see anybody arguing. I think we nailed it. But then again, kind of took the low-hanging fruit with the first video now, didn't I? I went for the most obvious, everybody loves it and everybody wants it back card. So now I'm going to go for another card. A card so good, a former world champion played it in every single deck. A card so good, that same Pokemon World Champion named their World Championship winning deck after it. I am, of course, talking about Town Map. The deck, by the way, was the Zoroark deck with which Robin Schultz won the Masters Division of the World Championships in 2018 in Nashville and called their deck Victory Map. No, that is not a coincidence. It was very deliberately named after Town Map, and certainly within the European community, and I'm sure elsewhere as well, Robin was very well known for always playing Town Map in every deck that they played. Also, fun little side note, Limitless TCG, yeah, that phenomenal website, also Robin. So, Town Map then, what did it do? And why do we love it so much? Well, it's an item card that reads, turn your prize cards face up. That's what it does. It makes you turn your prize cards face up. And this, I think, is a really classic example of a phenomenal card, an incredibly playable card, a ridiculously playable card, and one that no one's really going to have a problem with. It's very balanced. You see, I actually lost a game at the last Nationals I played before I started casting them all. The last Nationals I played was back in 2014. And at Nationals 2014, I was playing a Genesect EX deck. And I lost. I was against the lovely Dan Middleton, the Diamond Minecart himself. Because you see, I was playing Genesect, and Dan was playing Mega Kangaskhan. And I used my Town Map to show that my G-Booster, my one of a spec, which was the one that did big damage, yeah, that was prized. The problem was, because I played Town Map, my opponent knew that G-Booster was prized. Dan knew it was prized. He knew I had no access to it. So he just set up a big Pokemon that I couldn't KO. Had he not known G-Booster was prized, he couldn't have done that. Because he would have been going, oh, if I do that, he's going to G-Booster it and it's not going to work. But he knew it would work because he knew I didn't have G-Booster. That's the problem with Town Map. Town Map gives the information to both players. And what that means is, yes, you know what's going on, so does your opponent. Which makes it a very balanced card. You get the extra information, but your opponent gets that same amount of information. And we're talking about an item card here that both players could choose to play if they wanted to. This isn't one of those cards, like a couple of people suggested Welder. Welder as a card which maybe no one would be upset to see come back. I'm not so sure about Welder. Because the problem with Welder is it helps fire decks. Doesn't help anybody else. And when we had Welder decks, fire became a phenomenal typing. But then we had a bunch of other decks that would have loved something like Welder that couldn't take advantage of it. I heard people talking about how they didn't like Welder and how it made these fire decks a bit too good. I never heard anybody badmouth Town Map. And again, this is my challenge to you lovely ladies and gentlemen in the comment section. If you're watching this video going, what? Town Map sucks because of... Then tell me. Tell me in the comment section, pop a comment down below, and tell me why actually I'm wrong, and why Town Map is actually the scourge of the Pokemon TCG, and bringing it back would be a big issue. Because one of the things that Town Map does is it gives you certainty and it saves time. That's two things I'm going to forgive myself. You see, when you're set up to play the Pokemon trading card game, you have to take 6 cards from the top of your deck and put them down as your face-down prizes. Those cards are unavailable to you for the rest of the game until you knock out a Pokemon, take a prize, and you pick up those prize cards. Until then, those cards are unavailable. Part of the issue then is it changes your game plan. Like my example earlier with Genesect and G-Booster, sometimes it's as simple as looking and going, oh, I've got 2 of my 4 bosses' orders prized. So now I need to be a bit more careful relying on gusting plays because I don't know I'm going to have access to bosses' orders. And you need to know these things. You need to know your prizes. Watch any live stream of any Pokemon event. I'm on a bunch of them. I have a lot of fun. And in fact, I'm making this video to upload this weekend while I'm in Stockholm, commentating the regional championships. I love Sweden. It's going to be awesome. But at the start of every game, not just match, every game, both players' first turn will take ages. And one of the reasons it takes ages, or ages compared to the rest of their turns, is because the first time they search their deck, they have to look through and figure out which 6 cards are prized. They can't just know. You've got to look through. You can see the cards in your hand, the cards you played on the board, and the cards in your deck. You then have to figure out which cards you don't see, and you have to figure out which ones are prized. It takes time. Some people have suggested that the Pokemon TCG would be better if we could just look at our prizes at the beginning of the game. They were hidden from our opponent, but we just looked at them. Or if we just played with face-up prizes. Or we drew 13 cards to begin the game, 7 made our opening hand, and 6 of them went down as prizes. But the common theme of all these suggestions is it would be better if we knew what our prizes were. Now, this isn't a game like One Piece. In One Piece, we have triggers. Triggers are essentially skills that activate when a card is taken from your life or indeed your prizes. Although it's the other way round, as when your opponent takes a life, you get the card, rather than when you take a life, you get the card. But same kind of theory. But the thing there is, the triggers make a huge difference in the game. They affect your opponent as well as you. And don't get me wrong, knowing which prize to take at which time can obviously impact the game greatly as well, but it's not the same as having a trigger which is an actual extra skill that works immediately and could hurt your opponent. So what we end up with here is a situation where everybody kind of realizes that having prize cards being hidden can cause issues, and certainly slows down the beginning of the game. Forces you to have to figure it out at the beginning. But also, how many times have we seen a player and there's 3 cards left in their prizes? They're drawing 2 of them. If they hit a card, maybe it's boss's orders, maybe it's something else, they win the game. If they whiff it, they lose. How many times has that happened to you? Yeah. There. That's what I'm talking about. This makes sure that doesn't happen. It gives you the information, but it also gives your opponent. So if you really need a boss and your opponent can see you've got one in your prize cards, they can prepare for that. They can take that information and they can actually use it. And they can play Town Map themselves if they want to. It is a card that helps you, doesn't really hurt your opponent, gives them the same information that you have, and makes the game just run generally more smoothly. We got the first print in Boundaries Crossed. We got a reprint in Breakthrough. We never saw the card again after that. Just those 2 printings, which I think is a little bit rubbish. I think this card coming back would help. And frankly, what else do we have? Like, we do not have a good card right now which is helping us figure out what's prized. We have Hisuian Heavy Ball for like 5 more minutes until the rotation hits. But the problem with that is it tells you what's prized, but it doesn't tell you where those prizes are. They still end up being hidden afterwards, which solves one problem. You now know with certainty what's prized, yay. But it doesn't solve the problem of not knowing what's in your prizes where. Plus, it's going to rotate out in like 4 minutes. So we're going to get down the line, and it's just not going to be there. Like 3 minutes' time, it's going to be gone. We are getting very, very close to rotation. Brilliant. We have Peonia. Oh, no, wait. No, we don't. That one already rotated. That one's already gone. So we don't have great ways to figure out what's in our prizes right now, and I just think the game is better when we know what's in our prizes, where we don't have to spend the first search spending a couple of minutes figuring out what's in the prizes. We can just move on with the game, where we have that certainty, where the cards, sure, they're taken out of our deck and are unavailable, but then when we take prizes, we get them back again. And like I say, your opponent gets the same information you do, it doesn't hurt them, and they can play it as well. And frankly, if it's a good enough card that former world champion Robin Schultz played it in every deck, I think that probably tells you what you need to know about it. But I've made my argument now, so now it's over to you guys. Do you agree with me? Do you think this is a card that everybody would like back? Do you think I am exaggerating? Go nuts in the comment section, but be nice. Oh, and then obviously tell me which one you would like to see in the comment section as well. Give me ideas for which cards you think everybody wants back and nobody would complain about. Go nuts. Be nice. And then make sure you like this video, subscribe to this channel, follow me on Twitter at the Wasi. That's where we talk about Pokemon and a whole bunch of other card games. And please do consider checking out patreon.com/PTCG Radio, where you can support the channel, get some bonus podcasts, join a Discord, and all kinds of fun things. And get shout-outs on the channel, of course, like the lovely Star of Dav, who's been a supporter of ours for a while now and is a very lovely person. So shout out to them for the support and the loveliness. But by far the most important thing, as always, look after yourselves till next time, would ya? Thank you very much for watching. My name's Ross, and you've been watching PTCG Radio.